fuck with the franchise with us, bro.
I'm pretty sure he would.
Joe ran that nigga off 2K.
Nah, it should still be going. Let me see. Nah, my broadcast still going, baby. We on air.
Phil janky because Phil never responded. Phil never popped on.
It's loading.
Tonight, from Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California.
Boy, I sat there and said, how the fuck are you recording your plays and then realized, wait a minute, these hoes are on YouTube. I can go make my own goddamn little.
Yeah, so how you making yours on the PlayStation?
Oh, I usually do that, but since I got it on YouTube now, shit, I just go back to my YouTube game and screen record.
Oh, that's how you did that. That's how you made them one?
You notice some text message drop downs and the notification banners dropping down.
Oh, I did. I just thought about that. Oh, so you just go back and watch
sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a few moments ago. Here it is. It's
go to YouTube. It's on YouTube.
As both teams made their way out of the tunnel, these folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Buffalo Bills and the San Francisco 49ers.
What, you just USB to your phone?
Nah, I just put the USB in the computer because then I can kind of quickly.
Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis.
I just go to YouTube.
Take a look at these 49ers.
Screen record the hell. Because they don't let me.
Winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit.
Well, they don't let me do what I want to do with it anyway.
Meanwhile, for the visiting
like
Bills,
change the angles and shit when I'm recording the play.
That ran their win streak up to 7 now.
And I think that win last week established them as Super
Like if I want to record an actual play, go back. Because they don't even let me go to the highlights and do nothing.
And they'll be let out by a late signee this year.
Let me get the long joint.
Yes, for sure,
It's Cam Newton.
And when he's at the top of his game,
you using it? This ain't mine.
That's when you know everything is clicking. That means he's accurate
I had 2 of them over here,
they
though.
can't get him down in the run game, and his team is having a whole lot of fun because when they score a touchdown, some fans gonna get lucky and get the game ball.
What a W. Send it to me. Niggas say, actually, fuck, I don't even care. Send it.
They'll run for the first time here with Matt Breida. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. Breida on the carry. A check on Breida's numbers from last week. 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power. We saw finesse. We saw speed. And what I love the most, he finished each and every run. Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
On 3rd down, a run from Breida.
Oh, come on.
Here, but not before he does pick up the first.
We really.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this
Whoever
case,
this nigga is, coach, been watching film.
And the others, you said, had a chance to get off the field.
Oh, come on.
Get it done.
And that is incomplete. Kendrick Bourne, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
A lot of times, it's that first read that you have.
Maybe
You get it in pre-snap.
Oh, shit. We got to come get that,
But he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Nah, this the 49ers play, boys. I ain't really like.
He was looking at time for Dante.
I ain't really like been fucking with that like that.
Well, they've got man coverage.
Like I just started picking the niggas I want to play in different formations and shit.
In their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone, and there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And some space here. And he will finally be tracked down at the Bills' 29-yard line. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they got to change up what they have been doing.
Basically, kind of like controlling them niggas that we have to trouble with. These are all defensive, man.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Newton.
Come on, like, I've been and told you to take the fuck off. That's why I don't run with you.
Jeffrey Simmons able to
That's exactly why I don't run with you.
Because
Because you remind me of a nigga that's
a very
preaching.
good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain
But I told him to
it,
run. I told him to run, and he's over there
on
pussyfooting
second
and shit.
down, a run with Breida.
Don't pussyfoot,
A minimal
baby.
gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Now a stoppage
he
here
had it.
as
I'm
we've
glad
got a
he
Bill
hurt.
shaking
Got me
up
fucked
on the
up.
play. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
See, I ain't even.
Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a
That's
3rd
on
and
him.
long.
You should have.
Now
should've been on his
again to
pickle juice.
Breida. Touchdown, 49ers. Matt Breida, his 14th touchdown now of the year. And the Niners have taken the early lead. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the
Took advantage and took that back spasm and got out the game. Guess what we gonna do?
They're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
Get out of here, bro.
Get on the extra point, and it's
I
now
think that's who
7-0 game.
my damn offensive coordinator was worried about. That number 98, a dog, but he a rookie too.
Graham Gano set to kick off.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. Leading them out, their quarterback in his 7th season in the NFL, it's Derek Carr.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Play action.
Ooh,
now Carr. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks.
Damn.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. Ooh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now a handoff, Johnson. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45.
Johnson, the ball carrier.
The numbers for Johnson in last week's game: 13 carries, 52 yards, and a touchdown.
He's been a huge part of their winning streak because he establishes not just an identity and a tone, but the team relies on him. He takes care of the football, he gains yardage for him, chews up clock, and that's been a big part of why they're winning games lately.
The pickup.
No,
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. And just not much to be had there. 1 yard out to the 10.
On the carry.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On the handoff, this is Breida. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a first down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands and see how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, not get loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Give him 25 yards on the play there. And it'll result in a fresh set of downs. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 47. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Newton on first down. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Nick Bosa in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. A shotgun snap for Newton. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Brandon Cooks and the rest of the offensive crew trotting back into place out there. And CD, assuming he stays healthy, assuming the health, should get to that 1,000-yard mark pretty easily.
And the best part of what he's done so far is allows him and the team to relax their pursuit a little bit. Meaning, if they just have normal games, they'll get to the 1,000-yard mark. They don't have to force anything. But one of the reasons he's having the year he's having is what I call route-running arrogance. They think there's no one that can cover them. No matter how many people are put in his direction, it just doesn't matter. He's going to find a way to beat them. And so far this year, he's done exactly that.
He sure has. Wesley Woodyard there on the tackle.
On the tackle. A 3-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 30-yard line.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Carr. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. That one a 1st down pickup of 8. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll hand it off now, Johnson. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Johnson, again the ball carrier.
Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in what the reigning Defensive Player of the Week. You must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
The Adobe Z-Link, you got to... Yeah,
Throwing his car on third down. That's to his running back, Kerryon Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And then what's the next one?
On first down, Carr. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Carr completes it, and he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards there and a first down.
You know, our gain of 12. First down, Buffalo.
Throwing on first down is Carr. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. 38-yard line, 2nd and 11. Again, it's Carr. He gets it left side to Johnson. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now Carr again. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
It told me, I do already pay for it, but
Here's Randy Bullock now as he'll go for the field goal. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Keeps the score. Niners.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
Well, Premier.
Now Newton on first down. Open man is Kendrick Bourne. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. First down, Newton eluding the pressure right. Got the connection here to Bourne. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big play there just before halftime. 45 yards. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. They'll try to run with Breida, and he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Matt Breida in the final seconds of the first half. And the 49ers add on to their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff. Because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point.
to kick off.
4 seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away. That's fielded on the back line of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. No reason to do anything foolish as they'll snap it one more time on first down.
No biscuit.
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin our tour out at Nissan Stadium in Nashville, where you see the final score there. Baker Mayfield leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they were losers in that one to the visiting New York Giants. 26-0.
There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go.
Graham Gano set to kick off.
The Bills trail here, but they will get the football first as we are back underway on EA Sports. That's fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call? We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out.
Still all sorts of time left in this game, and you'd like to be able to say take it one play at a time. But the truth is, they're probably going to have to hit on a few big plays in the passing game to close this gap, and that's a good start right there.
My safety was at a play.
Exactly 50 yards on that last play as they just go from 125 to the other for 1st and 10. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Chase Young make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the
Excuse me.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
You know what I'm saying? Force that hell out of their head.
Dumping it off for Johnson. And he gets it down to the 32. That's going to bring up 4th down. Only a gain of 2 there.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Gonna pull up some allergy meds.
I'm going to do my practice so I could, by the time I do finish my practice, you're going to put around to be finish blowing these sorry niggas out.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This will be from 49 yards out. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is.
That nigga walked off like he hit that.
Matt Breida, the offense, heading back out. And he's found the end zone twice.
He walked off both times like he hit the
find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how's he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they're really in sync right now.
After the missed kick, they're in really good position. They'll begin this drive at the 39 now. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40
on the carry.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
1 yard gain. Brings up 2nd and...
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Matt Breida, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 16 on the season. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play.
Oh, what did he do to you?
Extra point try, good by Gano. And it's now 21-0.
Nigga just have a whole little spaz
now
out.
following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And get leaked, exactly.
That's fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Yeah,
he will come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. Buffalo set to get the football back here. Yeah, they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive. Missed field goal.
Oh, shit.
Because, you put something out there, you give yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the post. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
We don't take kindly to those words.
We'll post the video game.
They'll try to get the offense going. Johnson.
Nigga got his best.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Play fantasy football, like, damn, bro. I hate you on Madden, bro. You been kicking my ass on Madden.
From the gun, it's Carr. And the Niners get there and bring him down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session maybe a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
I would. Well, you can pick Belichick. That's who we've been fucking with.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll kick it away for the second time.
Yeah, I don't know. It's Belichick's playbook. He's not. I don't know. I don't know if they're updating it. Yeah, I think if you pick the
return there of 11 to help mitigate a good play. The Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. Matt Breida in the offense heading back out. He's closing in on 200 yards on the ground with the fourth quarter still to come.
That's the commissioner you're talking to.
Good shot to get there.
And now he's got to make sure he convinces his coaching staff to leave him out there and keep touching the ball, because when you've had that kind of a day, there is a tendency to think about getting him out and saving some of it. Running backs never like to save the yardage.
I can see Corey talking about, I'm not going to answer that bullshit. Next question.
I'll take the ball again, please, right?
Not turning down any carries.
2nd and 10 here as we roll along in quarter number 3 from Santa Clara.
That nigga Deshaun Jackson.
To throw again, Newton. And this one caught by Cameron Brain. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 19 yards the pickup there. Move the chains.
8-yard line.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They go right back to him for 20 and a first. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Dancing to his left. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, and throws it away.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds, because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
And across the chalk, into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Matt Breida.
Said Willowbrook got shot up.
Yards. And the Niners are able to to stretch their lead. And that rushing touchdown, his fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond.
I need James over here, so
but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was Matt Breida who had the touchdown run to put an end to it.
That's why niggas. It was COVID. It wasn't.
Set to kick off.
I'm telling you, bro, Trump has an effect on
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
Yeah, everybody fooling.
That's fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
25-yard line.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Chase Young in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
That's his second sack of the game. And the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
I'm glad I got him. It's a good pickup.
Ball at the 24 and a second and 11.
My right end.
Now Carr. This is the tight end, Njoku. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
It's a gain of 7.
They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all. And now they're looking at third down here. Back now here in Santa Clara. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The Bills on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3.
59, check, 59. 3
Working from the gun, it's Carr.
Where you playing your
He's
game,
gonna find his running back. It's complete. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though you completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Niners take over in terrific field position. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
And he's going to take it.
Shit. I'm glad I got that recorded.
I seen it. And you let him deep into it, no homo. Deep. Like he got real close.
5th rushing touchdown.
Got out of
He's
there.
the 6th man ever to do that in a single game.
No, Cam, I was saying you can record, you can manipulate the replays, show it how you want to. Post game when you go look at the highlights.
Yeah, don't let me look at the highlights sometimes.
Fantastic. What a game for him.
It really is something we are watching.
For some reason, mine won't let me. I won't even pull up my
He's been a
replays
busy
and
man,
highlights.
5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Well, that drive started with now only real estate in front of them.
Yeah, they be tripping. They be saying air and shit.
2 plays later, pay dirt.
Graham Gano
You
set
could
to
always
kick
do that
off.
shit in the middle of your game.
Gano now
Yeah, I just press
following
the share
touchdown
button
here
and
to kick
then,
it away.
Oh, and then you go. Well, but no, I'm talking about.
But they don't let me edit it like
Fielded
that.
near the back of the end zone.
saying, if you go
And
back,
he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
Buffalo set to get the football back here. And they were ultra confident coming in, that's for sure. They had won 7 straight, but number 8 not looking to be in the cards right now.
Yeah. So if you wanted to actually make a good replay that you could explore, you can do that. No. Just got the broadcast over.
Carr now,
You know you want
first
it.
down.
Okay, yeah.
And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
And Oloku, yes.
Shotgun now for Carr. To Jefferson on the
Good
slant.
guys.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
Damn, no,
Now,
I
after
need
the
you.
completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
I'm finna just go.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Got to resign him for at least a year.
Operating from the gun, Carr. This one brought in by Jefferson.
He might, if I get
a gain of 6 there on first. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball.
You can adjust it.
I didn't get
You probably just pressed X. But you can definitely change.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
Wait, what?
That was a first down pickup of 8.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down. Let him get the first down. That's exactly what he did.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Ooh.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
I'm telling you, when we was playing for the Gladiators, that's the only reason I got on the field. I ain't gonna say. I mean, because niggas didn't know who I was. Like the niggas out there knew me, but the coaches didn't know me or care.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
To Justin
It is on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 5.
And I never had to show up to practice again.
Trying to get it to
this is great. I could just show up, kind of fuck around, and show up for the game.
And they will take over at the 26-yard line. See, this defense, man. At this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
Like, what you mean?
A handoff to Breida to begin the drive. He'll have a first down past the 40. And finally brought down at the 43. 31 yards there and a first down.
So that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they turn to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
There's the Washington Husky. It's Dante Pettis. He'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a first down.
Well, it's click on it. You take it to a red and white screen.
Had the big play in the run game to play before. This time, they go right back to him in the passing game, and he comes through with yet another big play. That's why you work out so hard in the offseason, so you can stay on the field and accumulate big plays.
There might be something to it, though.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
There's some weird shit. That's what I'm saying. The Z-Link
and that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Newton's going to throw it. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. They seemingly just continue to score at will. As great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love that you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win, but one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them. Because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ballgame.
The extra point.
So why don't you just put James there? He's fast enough to do it, and he plays that anyway.
Because Tariq Cohen does it too. Tariq Cohen does it the same. I mean, they probably the exact same.
Yeah,
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
Put him somewhere.
Fielded near the back of the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Man, I didn't get that shit either.
And the drive starts with a completion left side. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Look through the
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
The hit sticky.
Ball on the 30, they'll come up with a second and 5.
I love getting the hit. I mean, you know, the perfect place to hit stick is on the sideline when it ain't nowhere for the niggas to go. But yeah, that's how I got that one in that. It was
throw left side,
niggas hit me out there on
it's Johnson.
Gunner on the punch sheet.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big game downfield.
Same exact result.
Getting to it quickly and
Same
holding
hit
it to a
stick. This
short
time
game.
it's up on it.
And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up fourth down.
He took the first nigga and got
right
hit.
there on third down.
And
like
for
any
whatever
defense,
reason,
you
he's
never
trying to
want to let him
break
get
out of
anything
this nigga's
started.
tackle.
And that would have been a
And he
first
breaks
down.
it, and as
Instead,
soon as he
you saw the
breaks that,
contact
like, there's
on
no way that he
time,
can see
no
me
penalty. And before this drive could get
And I
wings,
laid his
it's
ass
fourth
out,
down.
and it was on our side.
A well-hit ball there.
Everybody
50
went
yards
crazy.
on the punt.
Coach told
3
me
on
to
the
stay out there.
return.
Fred told me to
And
stay out there.
possession will switch hands, first and 10.
Never took you out again.
And San Francisco
That's Fred.
gets set to go here.
Where you going? Get
As
your
they
ass
try to
back in
finish
there.
things off in
Go
this
ahead.
fourth quarter in that current 5-game
Who told you to
win
come
streak.
out?
Looking like it's going to go to 6.
I love playing for Fred, though, because he disrespected it completely. He was just like, he ain't going.
Picked off
I ain't
by
really
Deshaun
letting niggas
Gibson.
wasn't catching no
And
ball.
he'll return it to the 24-yard
Listen,
line.
what I didn't need.
Well, they get a fourth quarter pick.
In my
A little
area.
something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That was a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other.
Oh, you threw a
But it's all
pick? You
about
threw a
the
bad
fantasy
pick?
points
I
here.
missed
This
it.
ball game
You threw a bad
was
pick
over.
up 42-0. They finna score.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back.
give him
And he'll
that
go
shot.
out of bounds in the red zone
happens.
just inside the 20. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make this a second down.
Oh, and they
Able to
pushing
get
it, too.
7 on that first
Because
down
you know
pass
niggas on
play.
offense don't want to
Second
leave
and
us
3.
on the board either. Wait, you got
Operating
Chase
from the
Young?
gun. Carr. And a
He
big
ain't giving up
turnover
shit.
there as his guys will
You
get
see
the
him?
football back.
Oh, he got it back. Good
I
shit.
gotta tell you,
That's
I'm
Wesley
trying to
Luther,
think of
yeah.
something positive to say for this offense, but
Reach for this,
I'd
man.
have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been. And he will get into the end zone. It's another.
Oh, good shit, Cam.
This thing is ugly.
Good shit. You know, I'm watching it on the delay. I thought that
This
nigga
game,
was
they're
going
still
to get
taking
you.
it to the end zone.
Hell
You know
no.
they could
I
have
need to
taken
get
a
my-
knee
I need to
there,
get my,
but they decided to
running
play this one
place
all the
back
way
there.
out, and I think their
You got too
philosophy
many
is,
blockers running
we're
with
going to
you.
give you everything
My
we've
niggas
got.
don't be getting
If
out
we just
there.
go ahead and take a knee now, we're
Well,
actually
that's all I
showing you
drafted was
disrespect
linemen.
that way, like taking pity on you. They're not about to do that to their opponent.
You got racist. That nigga got
They
racist.
just add on to their big lead. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about.
Yeah, that's
One-play
what-
drives
this is,
from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown.
Richie Incognito was on that racist shit in Miami.
Graham Gano set to kick off.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
Remember the nigga, the black dude called him out. He was like, rookie.
Fielded near the back of the end zone.
Yeah,
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Buffalo set to get the football back here. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
Be honest.
don't forget today. Don't
Oh, they fucked
Brandon
me.
Cooks past the 20.
They
And
fucked
somewhat
me,
of a
boy.
measure of revenge as he's in for the
Who's
touchdown.
that?
But they still trail big
Cooks.
time.
He'll take it, but he won't
He needed that.
smile about it.
I don't know
that
how.
nigga tried to get it his
On the
stick. Oh, no, he
scoreboard
didn't
here,
try to
give
get
him
his
credit
stick.
for that.
I tried to go
Too
for
little,
the
too
two.
late, but no zero.
Who's that?
Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No,
but he was right there. He should at least tip the ball.
But he jumped for
extra
that.
point
I mean,
up and good by
they had to give him
Bullock
some.
as
They
they
had to
make
give
the
him
score
some.
just a slight bit more respectable here in the final
They was in
quarter of
cover
play. Ryan Switzer on the return. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
And middle safety, they were low return.
We should have been back there in this third, though, because we was over the top.
He didn't get no dip.
San Francisco set to go on offense once more.
It is
Three
what it is.
timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show.
Oh, you put Ryan Switzer.
We got a plane to catch.
And break, the tight end's got it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
Out of bounds at the 47.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. That one looks like he'll throw here. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now whistles and a timeout call here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. Now a first down throw for Newton. This is caught.
Oh, he didn't get in that hole. Oh, shit. Oh.
Right there.
I needed that.
It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points. Continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
As an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call
that nigga
run,
rushed for
pass, it's all going to work.
346.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Niners, they continue to be one of the best teams around as they move to 10-2. And they'll get to stay home again next week as Washington comes to town. Meanwhile, for the Bills, it's a tough one to swallow as they drop back to 8-4 on the year. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Pittsburgh Steelers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
On 17 carries.
346, so he up to 2K now. Oh, yeah, he for sure. Press the right stick to get that deal. Is she a fool on it? Did you I remember that nigga chose. That nigga chose. Man, I don't know any of them niggas. When niggas was like, who the best DJ on the yard? Rodgers? It was like Rodgers or somebody else, and it wasn't Chose. And Chose was like, man, fuck it, I'm about to lead any of them niggas.